I, when I went to Immaculate, I loved school. I had good friends, and all my friends are still my old Immaculate girls. But I just didn't know where I wanted to go, because as a math student, I got all the distinctions in maths, and I just never saw anything that attracted me. Now, all these girls, my friends, were went off to sixth form, and I went off and did a commercial course. So I was, I was more of a secretary at the time. And they all went off and do nursing and teaching. In those days, those were the professions for women. One girl, Faye Wood, went off and did medicine, and she was the only person in the class that did something differently. And a lot of them got scholarships to go abroad, and they did, but I just did not know what I wanted to do. I just was lost. I didn't like accounting, I didn't like insurance, I didn't like banking. I just didn't know what I wanted. And so I took this commercial course. I never stayed in a job longer than 3 years. And I kept flitting around until one day I applied. I was at Kaiser Oxide, and after my third year, I knew I needed to move on. I applied to cement company for a job, and we knew the manager there, and his secretary called me and she said, "We don't have any vacancies, but would you like to interview for a job to go to Canada?" I said, "Really? What is this about?" And this is how I got into stockbroking. When I got to Canada, I looked on the ticker board around me, and I'm saying, what was really the plan was this guy, this company, Anderson Company, had done 2 issues overseas for Caribbean Cement Company and Telephone Company. And so they decided that they wanted to come to Jamaica because Pitfield was already here. Now, of course, I didn't know anything about stockbroking. I didn't even know what the word meant. And so I took off because I said, I want this trip. 6 months, I'm going for 6 months. You're going to give me winter clothes. You're going to pay me and put me up. You can't ask for better than that. So my mother was not at all amused, but I took off. And that is where I started. That is where I found my niche. You see, the thing about stockbroking is that the calculations are varied. It's not counting up figures. It is looking at a company and determining, is this worth buying? Is it worth not buying? What can you get out of this? And the various instruments that they were being sold. I didn't even know about those things when I left Jamaica. And so I was so fascinated. I came back. We started the company here. They came back to Jamaica. I was his secretary. That's what I went to do, the administrative work and all the secretarial work. I was with the Anderson Company for 10 years. I knew I found my niche. I tell you, I knew I found my niche. Because in those 10 years, there are 2 Canadian companies. One was Pitfield and one was Anderson Company. And they both put the proposal to the government to start a stock exchange in Jamaica. And when that was being developed, I was very much involved because I have to do all the paperwork. I did all the typing for them and getting all the documents together. And you found now when the market started to, because then it was only 2 brokers. And I think it was Mr. Siaga. Oh yes, he wanted to take it over. And we said, no, this is a private sector business. And he backed off. But then what we had to do was to open up to the public, the regular public. At that time, we didn't really have a stock exchange, but then we got the Canadian Stock Exchange to come down and establish the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And with that, all the other brokers were in the Jamaicans now, Jamaican companies were invited to come in. And they did, and we had 11 brokers. You wouldn't believe in 1962, 67, 11 stockbrokers, and that market operated every day.